Let's talk about ways to sort and cull our images. So culling your images is reducing a larger number of images down to a smaller number. And there's a few ways that we can do that. Lightroom has some ratings, color labels, and flags built right into it. So if we go up to the photo menu up here, you can see that we have ratings from 0 to 5 stars. And those are all able to be applied by clicking on the keyboard shortcuts of 0 through 5. So if I'm on an image and I click on 1, it's going to add 1 star to it. I click on 1 on the keyboard, it's going to add 1 star to it. I can also increase and decrease them with the square brackets, which are just above the return key. The left square bracket will decrease the rating and the right square bracket will increase the rating. I also have color labels, red, yellow, green, blue, and purple. I can add a star and I can add a color label to it. So I can use this to organize and sort through my images to make some sense of it. I'm going to show you one way to do it. It is not the only way to do it. I really want you all to figure out what makes the most sense for you and do that for your images so that you can get them organized in a way that makes sense to you. The last one that we have is flag, and we can either flag it, unflag it, or reject it. Those are the three things that can happen with the flag setting in Lightroom. So let's see what this looks like in practice. When I'm in my grid mode, I don't really have, you can see the 5 dots under here. Those are for my stars. This should be for my color label, is right underneath here. So if I want to use my mouse, I can click on these shortcuts that are appearing underneath it. I personally, when I'm culling my images, I don't want to use the mouse. I want to use the keyboard as much as possible so that I can be as efficient as possible. And so what I do is I go into loop mode, which is this down here, or the E key. If I click on E, it will bring up loop mode. And I can use my arrow keys to scroll through my images. And so I can quickly preview a lot of my, or all of my images, quite honestly. And you can see, if you still like the mouse, there's an interface down here for flagging, rejecting, the 5 stars, rotating your image. See, I can click on it and rotate it around. And then this is for finding faces. We're not going to deal with that. If you want the color labels to be there, in the lower right corner of that center panel, I have a menu that will let me bring up the color labels. So now my color labels are just a click away right here. That is a good way for me to get started on my sorting. So here's how I do my sorting. I can bring up this loop view. If I really want to just focus on my images, I'll turn off these side panels. I'll leave my thumbnails at the bottom. I start on the first image, and I will just scroll through my images, and I'll rate any image that I'm willing to look at again with 1 star. It's a very basic, it's the simplest, easiest thing to do is to just go through and say, oh, I kind of like that, I'm going to give it a 1. And I just clicked on the 1 key. I like that tree, I'm going to give it a 1. Oh, I love that tree, I'm going to give it a 1. That's kind of a cool shot. The lighting's a little harsh on that, maybe not. That one's nice. Nice. We'll keep that. We'll keep that one. We'll keep that one. Oh, I like that. Maybe not a whole lot going on there. Oh, and I have 2 of these. So I'm left arrow, right arrow. You can see I'm toggling between the 2. I think I like this one better, so I'm going to select 1 on that one. And I'm going to say that my goal is to get these 20 images down to 5 images. That one, the lighting's a little harsh. Oh, I kind of like that. That one maybe isn't totally in focus. Not so interesting. Oh, I like that as well. Okay, so I just went through without much thought and said I like it or I don't like it. 1 or no rating. Now I can go over here to the lower right and I can filter by rated. So I just click on this filters off and I go down to where it says rated. And now it'll only show me anything that is greater than or equal to 1 star. So here's my 1-star shots. I took my 20 photos and I made it 13 photos. So now I'm going to start at the beginning again because I want to get this down to 5. And I'm going to go through and I am going to make a second layer of selection. So now that I've looked at them all, I might have a more clear vision of what I may want to keep and don't want to keep. So I'm just going to go through them again and I'm going to say, I don't think I need to worry about that one anymore. I still like that one. I really like that one. I'll go with that. Maybe not that one now. Not that. I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that one and I like that one. So now I just went through and sort of made secondary choices, which is to say, I've already looked at them all and now I'm going to sort them to these and I'm going to click on the 2 stars and you can see I'm down to 8. And so now I can start over again and do 3 stars until I get to my 5 images. So now that I've gone through them again, I'm like, maybe I'm not as big a fan as that because I need to sort of, I still like that one. We might let that one go. I really like that. I really like that. Maybe I'll let that go. And then I really like that one. Okay, so there's my next cull of the images. So now I click on my 3 stars and, oh, look, I'm down to 4, but I wanted to have 5. So I'm going to go back and filter it to 2 stars again. And I'm going to look through these images and see which other one I want to keep. Maybe we'll keep the one of the Berlin Wall. So I'll go 3 stars on that. And now I have my ratings and I've selected my 5 favorite photos from this 20 first images that I shot. Now, if I wanted to separate these more and say, oh, this one might be one that I want to eventually print, or maybe this is one that I'm going to use for my final, I'm thinking about using this as one of the ones I'm going to do my write-up of. So I don't want to change the star rating because I've already gotten these to this level of 3 stars and they sort nicely to the 3 stars. So this is where I might use my color labels. So let's say this is one that I'm going to do my write-up on. I might label it red. So you can see that it's been filtered red. If I select another image, you can see that the border of it is all red as well. So now let's say I want to sort this by my 3 stars and anything that's rated or labeled with red on it as well. So I can see what all I have chosen. I can come over here to the filter menu and click on it. And you can see it expands it out so I have a lot more choices. So now I can have my greater than or equal to 3 stars and I can click on red and it's now only selected that single image for me to look at. The other thing that we're going to need to do as we're sorting through these images is eventually we're going to need to pick the images that we want to print. And so for the print ones, you could use a color label to select those, or you could use the flag to kind of say that this is my final image and this is the one that I'm going to probably print. So if I flag it, you can see that it puts a white outline on it or a little flag in the upper corner there. And now I can come over here and I can say, show me the flagged photos, and it'll show me. And those, it doesn't even matter if I have the star ratings on because the flag photo is singular. I have only chosen one. And if I also choose the red, right now there's only one red, so it'll just show me the red. It doesn't matter whether it's 3 stars or more in red because it's only got one that's labeled red right now. But you can start to see how you can pile these filters or these labels on top of each other and then filter them out so that you can see just what you want to see within your images. And again, what I really want you to do is to come up with a way that makes sense to you on how you rate and label all of these files, how you make these all work and work for you so that you can easily find things within your library. It's going to seem a little bit crazy right now because we only literally have 20 photos in our library. But as we go through the semester or as you continue to shoot, you're going to end up with more and more images in your library, and being able to easily find and sort through them is going to become very helpful as you move forward.